All right, so when you hear the term, that's trending, do you ever wonder, who said so? Well, in fact, my next guest said so. Vicki Ostrom is a futurist and a trend interpreter for retail industries, fashion, home, lifestyle, and so much more. And I'm thrilled to have her here so we can get a sneak peek into how trends happen and what's going on, because I think there's so many different aspects to it, a psychological, what's happening in the world. So first of all, how do you find the next best thing?
You just keep your eyes open. You read everything you can read, and I check out what the artists are doing around the world, because artists always have their finger on the pulse of things that are happening in society.
Oh, that's a good point.
Yeah.
Because they really are kind of like analyzing things on that deep level.
Yeah.
So, okay, we asked you to give us one concept of what you're seeing right now, because there's so many trends, but we're just one concept overarching, and what will be important. And you chose wellness. Interesting. Why you chose wellness?
Wellness is this big idea that breaks out into all these different categories of thought and product as well. So you've got you mental wellness and physical wellness. And you know, the physical wellness could be anything from beauty to like literally physical activity trends. Yeah. And then mental wellness is, you know, going into, you know, how are you connecting with another human being? You know, what are you doing with talk therapy, or how are you, you know, keeping yourself from being depressed, that kind of thing.
Yeah. So now that we have the concept named, how does it become products, services, trends? How does that happen?
Yeah. Well, you know, it's interesting. We're in this real poly crisis they keep talking about, you know, where it's like we're worried about climate change. We're worried about things that are happening around the world. And that alone is focusing all of us, I think, into really celebrating the everyday and being very attuned to community and connection. Yeah. And those are two really big topics that came up for me over the last 6 months as I was preparing trend reports for the next year. And this community connection, you know, and that really has to do with our mental and physical wellness. There's different things that are coming out of that need.
So, sorry to interrupt, because I'm just so excited to get to some of the words you have to describe the trends. First are glimmers. What are glimmers?
Glimmers are micro moments of joy that bring us calm, that bring us, you know.
I have a glimmer when I take a shower and spray my like eucalyptus spray.
That is exactly what a glimmer is, and that is a product that you're enjoying that comes out of that need to have a little moment of peace and happiness and awe in your day.
Well, thanks to Euro Spa for that. Not a sponsor, by the way. It just happened to end up in my shower. Alpha fluencers and Zalphas. Okay, what am I saying here?
Alfluencers are the alphas that you have in your house, which are little ones that are up to about 12, you know. So people know that the influence that they have in your house. They're the researchers in your family, and they have a lot of influence over the products that we're buying. You know, I've heard of many people buying electric cars because their little tween said, you know, Mom and Dad, we should have an electric car. That's a big purchase in a family. Yeah.
Oh, that makes sense. Okay, clubbing, but not what I would think of, different in 2024, apparently.
Yes, clubbing is very different in 2024, very fun. You know, during the pandemic, we rediscovered the outdoors, and which just seems like a funny thing to say, but you know, we all had to go outside to have our physical activity, and now people are like, I want to exercise outdoors, and so that's happening. And then at the same time, we're also wanting that community and connection, which is good for our mental wellness and our, you know, our whole being. And so the two are coming together, and people are doing pickle clubs, and they're running clubs, and they're in rowing clubs and hiking clubs. And so that's the clubbing aspect of it.
Now that I can get behind, because I'm not wearing 3-inch heels anymore and going to dance. No, I want to go bowling together.
Exactly. Bowling, roller skating. I mean, there's so many really amazing things that people are finding to do to connect to local communities, you know, around them through, because they want to be physical and do exercise anyway. So they're like, why don't I, you know, meet people in my own neighborhood and
have that sense of safety and community and everything.
Support for each other.
I have like 6 million more questions, but we're out of time, and I hate that because I love talking to you about this, and we've got so many more trends that we did not get to. But I promise we're going to have you back again because this has been an absolutely fascinating talk and a good reminder to, keep those glimmers in your mind's eye.
Take a moment.
Take a moment. Get a glimmer.